Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Temitayo. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to make these beautiful lace cuff sleeves. If you like what you're saying, let's get started.
So guys, I'll start by getting my starting line. Then I will measure my bicep, which is 5 inches. Then I will measure the whole sleeve length. My long sleeve length is 21, but I'll use 23 inches because it is a shirt sleeve, and I also want it to have little puff. So that is why I'll add 2 inches to my original shirt sleeve to get 23 inches. So then after marking that, I would label my lines. Please note that the pattern paper is on fold when you want to draft your pattern. So as you can see, all measurements will start from the folded part of the pattern. So I'll bring my front and back bodice pattern that I drafted earlier for my shirt. So assuming I've joined the shoulders together, I will measure my armhole round. So whatever I get will multiply by 2. I have 10.25 inches for mine. So if I multiply that by 2, I'll get 20.5 inches. So that means my round armhole measurement is 20.5 inches. But we'll be using the 10.25 inches just because our pattern paper is on fold. So I'll mark that 10.25 inches diagonally as you can see me doing, and I'll mark it into a straight line. So I'll find the midpoint and mark it as so. Also, I'll get the half of each of those midpoints as you can see me doing right now. You can fold the tape measure into 2 to get accurate readings. So all is in a bit to divide that line into 4 parts as you can see me doing. So now on the first point, I'll come up by 0.25 inches, that is half of an inch. And on the last point, I'll come down by 0.25 inch, that is 1/4 of an inch. And I'll connect with my French curve like so. If you are a little bit confused on this sleeve pattern, kindly watch the video on sleeve pattern on my channel. So then I'll measure the 10.25 inches round armhole measurement that I got earlier on the curved line and mark that point on the bicep line as you can see me doing right now. So I'll measure 3/4 sleeve length, which is 13 inches. Then my round circumference of that 3/4 in sleeve length is 11 inches, and I'll divide it by 2 by folding my tape measure so to get 5.5 inches, and I'll mark that down. And also the round circumference of my wrist is 8 inches, so divided by 2 gives me 4 inches, and I'll mark that also on my long sleeve point as you can see me doing. So I'll use my straight curve to connect the bicep like so, and I'll use the curve side of my French curve to connect the bicep to the 3/4 length as you can see me doing right now. So my sleeve pattern is ready to be cut out. So now if you are getting value so far, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and turn on the notification bell to get notified when I drop new videos. So can you see how beautiful our long sleeve pattern is? So on this point right here, I'll come down by 0.5 inch, that is half of an inch, and blend into the curve like so, and then I'll cut it out. So that upper side will be the front side of the sleeve, while the other side, when I open it up, will be the back of the sleeve pattern. So opening up the sleeves after labeling, I already have my middle line from the crease line, but I'll just rule it out with a pen or my marker. So after doing that, I'll fold it back into 2 and measure 6 inches from the down part of the sleeve like so, and I'll cut it out. So that will be my curve. So because the curve part of the sleeve is going to be laced, I'll mark out 1.5 inches from the open side and cut out like so. So to my main sleeve, because I want little pleats around here, I'll add 2 inches to both sides of the sleeve. So I'll open it up and add 2 inches to both sides as seen. So I'll get a fresh pattern which will also be on fold, and I'll place the original sleeve pattern on it like so. So make sure you hold yours down with pin or clips so that it won't be shaking or moving around when you are measuring. Then I'll add the 2 inches extra pleat allowance and connect to the bicep. So you can use your free hand to connect from the bicep down to the 2 inches extra pleat allowance, or you can use your French curve to connect like so. In case you need fuller pleats, you can add up to 4 inches allowance to your own sleeve pattern. So after this process, I'll cut out my sleeves as shown. So this means I have a new sleeve pattern. So I'll transfer the labelings on the old one to this new sleeve pattern, as you can see me doing right now. And also cut out that curve along the bicep on the front side of the sleeve pattern. So by the way, have you subscribed to the channel yet? If you have not done that, please hit the subscribe button and please like this video because I really need your support on this channel. Thank you. So that is my basic sleeve, and that is my cuff, and that is how my cuff will be when I sew it on my fabric. So don't forget to notch all this part that I'm notching right now on the screen, as you can see me doing, because later we'll transfer all our notches to the fabric too. So opening up my sleeve pattern, I'll focus on the back that I labeled. So I'll measure what I have there. I have 7 point something and I'll get the midpoint. So on that midpoint, I'll come up by 2 inches like so, and I'll cut that 2 inches just like a notch. Remember we removed 1.5 inch from the curve. So I'll measure that 1.5 inch on the sleeve pattern and I'll give it a notch. That will be useful when we are sewing. So the sleeve pattern is ready to be cut out on the fabric. So my fabric is on fold right now, and I just placed my sleeve pattern on it, and I added ½ inch sewing allowance round it, but because I added 1 inch sewing allowance to the side of my main bodice, so I'll add 1 inch to the side of the sleeve too, but all other sides will be ½ inch, and I'll cut out. Please don't forget to transfer the notches on your pattern to the fabric. So then I'll remove my clips and spread out my sleeve. So to be able to identify the front side and the back side of the sleeve, I'll make sure I notch the front side of the sleeve. But before then, I'll cut out that curve that I'm doing right now, and also cutting out that 2 inches that I came up on the back. So for the cuff pattern, this side will be on fold. I cut out one already so you can know the side which I said will be on fold. So placing my fabric on fold, I'll place the cuff pattern on it and add 0.5 inches sewing allowance, round it, and I'll cut out. By the way, if you have learned something new, drop me a comment below and tell me what that was. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I drop new interesting videos. So after cutting your pattern on your fabric, this is what it should be like. I'll use a bias tape to turn in the slit here. I'll place the bias tape on the right side of the sleeve and sew it like so. Please be gentle on the cuff part. I'll notch my V-size so it can lay very well when I iron it. So after turning it with the bias tape, this is what I'll have. So I'll go ahead and iron it. So then I'll fold the sleeves together so I can join the sides. I won't be joining the side all the way down. I'll stop midway so it can be easy for me when I'm attaching it to my shirt bodies. So I'll turn the sleeve to the right side. On this edge that I just measured, I need 10 inches on it. Remember, I added 2 inches for my pleat allowance. So I'll just pleat to have my 10 inches, which would be 5 inches on fold. But I'll first pin those pleats and measure to have my 5 inches on fold before I go to the sewing machine and sew. I've already finished making one side of the sleeve, but I will show you how I arrived at that now. So after sewing down the pleats, I have to double check to see if I still have my 5 inches on fold. So to get the lacing hole, I'll get a long strip of fabric which is 1.5 inches wide and I'll cut it out. So I'll fold it into two to sew it on the machine. So I just need about half of an inch or even lesser than that for my lacing hole. So then I'll cut off the excess allowance and turn it with my loop. So after turning with my loop, this is what I have, a long tiny rope. So I'm going to cut this into 2 inches bit by bit, as you can see me doing right now. So after doing this, I just counted the amount of holes that I need, which is about 8. So I'm on the safe side now. And to my curve is on fold and I already had interfacing to one side. Make sure you use the pattern of the curve to cut out the interfacing so you can have the seam allowance free. To get the distance between the lace hole, I measure 1.3 inches apart and I mark on the other side so they can align together. So then I place the tiny ropes in between the fold by folding it into two and I secure it with my clip. So I make sure to fold one edge of the curve by the 0.5 inch that I added to it, as you can see me doing right now, and I'll sew it along. So as you are sewing, when you get to the place that has the lace hole, make sure you double stitch that part well. So can you see that my stitches did not reach the end of the curve? And I trimmed off the excesses so that when I'm turning it, it will lay very well. And I turn it to the right side and I give it a good pressing. So this is how it's going to look on your wrist. Can you see that this is very beautiful? So I fold the main sleeve into two and notch, and also fold the curve into two and notch. So I'll place the notches together and pin them so that sewing can be easy. So after pinning, I go to the sewing machine to secure it down. So after that, I tuck in this allowance into the curve like so, and I pin it down and I secure it with some stitches. So this is what I have. The sleeve is ready to be attached to a bodice. So don't forget to tuck in the rough edges like so. You can finish the rough edges with a bias tape or salvage it with a weaving machine so that the edges will not fray. So I'll tack this press button to the sides of the sleeve later, but now I'll use pin to hold them together and I will lace my sleeve. Just fold the bias tape into two and sew it together to get your lacing rope and cross it as you can see me doing right now. If you've enjoyed this video so far, kindly like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell so you can be the first to see my next video. See what we made. Isn't this beautiful? If you are trying this, let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Bye.